such a place of high altitude, but for Medog County, the altitude is about 1,000 kilometers, so I can breathe easily, and you can see the climate here. We have so much plants, and the place is in a mountainous area from 3 angles, and the other angle is facing the Indian Ocean. So we can see that for this place, we have so many clouds each day, and this is the magic of this place. If we want to know the changes of poverty alleviation in Medog County, we should go into villages instead of the township. So we will go into one village, Dexing Village. And Dexing Village is one of the 34 borders villages in this county along the border. So we are at the entrance of the village, and we go downward to the village. We could see that Medog County is in the Yalangcangpo Gorge, and we could have a glimpse at this gorge. If we go downward, we could see the river. You can also see the mountains, those beautiful scenes. And I will also show you bridges. And these bridges can offer you a direct impression about Medog County and the changes in the transportation system. If we go this way, you can see. And we are now along the Yalangcangpo River. And we will go upstairs for one floor. And we can take a better perspective to look at the river. And here we have a better view of this river. So we can take a broad perspective. You can see the Yalangcangpo River. And I will remain silent for the moment because we can have a better appreciation of the scene. And for the Medog County, it is built and developed along the Yalangcangpo River Gorge. And you can see here, we have 4 bridges. And you can also see the bridge nearest to us. And this bridge is called Tengwang Bridge. The network made of plants and vines. And this old bridge shows the local people's wisdom. And this also shows that in the mountainous area, people have a strong demand of better transportation. And for the network of vine bridge, and this is the old way of transportation by Menba and Luoba ethnicities in the past. So the people would pick up the vines and make them into a net. And it is like weaving a net, the horizontal and vertical lines, and this net will become such a bridge. And I will leave one question open. We say that people will weave the horizontal line first, and the bridge would be established. But for the first line, how did the first line arrive at the opposite side of this river? I will leave this question open to arise your curiosity. You can have a guess. And this bridge remains here. It has become a cultural heritage for the Tibet Autonomous Region. And if you see this bridge, you can have a memory for those old days for bad transportation. And just next to this vine bridge, you can see there is another one. And this bridge was still in use for last year. People walk on this bridge. And this bridge was an upgraded version for the vine net. It used the technique of weaving nets, and the bridge is wider, about 1.5 meters wide. And only people could walk on this. And there are also wooden balls on the bridge. And for even until last year, the bridge was open for walkers and animals. And the animals could carry baggages and passing through this bridge. But this year, the bridge was closed. And the humid air would be on this bridge, and the wooden balls have become corrupted. So we could see this bridge is in a precarious condition. So now this bridge is closed to prevent possible danger. And if we take a look upward, you can also see another bridge using iron chains, and this is for wider bridge surface, and motorcycles and small vehicles can pass through those iron bridge. And this bridge is also closed because wooden balls become corrupted due to the humidity of the weather. But all the bridges remain here, so people can look back on the past history. I don't know whether you guess the reason how the first vine reached from this side to the other side. Because we need to first have the first horizontal line of vine, and later on we could have a vine net bridge. So I will first invite my colleague to look at your response, your guess, so we could share with you what we have and continue our introduction. So just now I heard the sound of vehicles passing through the village, the bridge. You can see also this bridge now in use, and for the new bridge, the motorcycles, cars, trucks, all these vehicles can pass through, and this is called Dexing Bridge, the highest bridge. You can also see there is one truck passing through the vehicle, very big truck. I don't know whether you can see clearly. The truck is empty. And we can see and hear the sound for the truck when it passes through the bridge. You can also see the shakes of the bridge. So each time we see a truck passing through the bridge, we may be concerned. And for this new bridge, it was built in 2009, and now it still is in use and it bears excessive burden. After we finish the highway into the Medog County, the transportation has been improved, and the roads from the town to the villages, the roads have been in use, and we have a lot of construction projects which will require materials and equipment. So Dexing Bridge is very important for the transportation of those materials and equipment, because it is the necessary path from Dexing County to Medog Township and other villages. So we could see that this bridge, it showed us important functions, especially for the trucks. They need to pass through the bridge to transfer the materials from the town to the villages. So we go along this road. And here we have an introduction for the Vine Net Bridge, and the introduction is here, so future visitors can look at the bridge and take this as a tourist scene, so people can have a better understanding for the changes of transportation in Medog County. And the Vine Net Bridge is on the surface of this river, about 150 meters long, 50 meters above the river. It used vine net. Vine net can take about 2,000 kilograms of weight. In 1996, it was incorporated in the cultural heritage for the Tibet Autonomous Region. And we go back, and then we can go into the village. Be careful for the road. And what I want to share with you especially is that for this place, if we walk to the village, it will take some time. So there is a truck coming. We will make room for the truck because the road is not wide enough. And why the truck stops? Because for Dexing Bridge, we have mentioned before, it takes excessive burden, so the bridge can only pass from one way, one direction. So only one vehicle can be on the bridge at one time. So we could say that if you drive in Medog County, you need to be very skillful at driving, because you may need to go back for 2 to 3 kilometers for you to avoid the traffic. And for such a load for the truck, there would be one space for the truck to unload the heavy materials and to sort out the heavy materials. Because for this bridge, it can only take It could only take a certain amount of weight, and the large and heavy materials need to be sorted out and to be carried through the bridge. So we could feel that for Medog County, the development is rather backward as compared to other areas, and the Medog County faces special difficulties, and the transportation has just improved for recent years. And if we want to go into the village, there would be various difficulties for transportation conditions. And we need to invite 2 gentlemen from Dexing, and they will carry me on their motorcycles to go into the village. And it will take about 3 to 5 minutes. And on the way into the village, there may be some difficulties in the signals. So we have prepared certain images that we have taken from an airplane, so we can share with you these images while I go into the village. Okay, now I start. So I will see you later if we arrive at the village.
又来一个大车，所以我们要在这儿等一下，让一下。
So there is another truck, so we need to wait here.
看到这辆大卡车以及后面大卡车也在倒车啊，是因为
You can see
又
this
来了一
truck
辆车。
and the truck after it. They are backing because another vehicle has come on the bridge. So they go in backward direction and
所以
they
开摩
wait.
托呢，可能你不能着急，特别在这
So
个
you can
路
see
上
for
确
Medog
实
County,
需要耐下心
you
来
cannot be in a hurry because the transportation would take some time and people need to be patient.
好了，那现在趁着我们在等的时候呢，有一个叫
Okay.
相思抛
If
红
we
豆
wait
的
here,
网友啊，
there
他
is
说墨
a
脱应该很
netizen
温暖，冬天都不落叶子。
who has shared
是
with
的
us
墨脱呢，它的
his
海拔就
opinion.
只有1000
He said
米啊，
that
而且这儿呢
the
有特殊
weather
的这样
is
的
so
一个气
warm
候。
with no
另
fallen
外它的
leaves.
这个
And
它
for
存在的
Medog
北部啊，其实
County,
我们在墨脱能够
the
感受到的
altitude is
是
only
这个
about
亚热带这样的一个
1,000
气候，所以我们
kilometer,
还能在
and
墨脱能
the
够看到
weather
野
and
生
climate
的
is
芭
about
蕉树啊、香蕉树啊，这种
subtropical
亚热带的植
climate.
物
So you
都
can
是很多
also
的，
see
而且
the
这儿
banana
很
trees
多都是
and
这
other
种常
plants
绿的
in
阔
the
叶植物。
subtropical area.
所以如
And
果
we
道
have
交通
those
好的话，墨脱真
always
的是
green
非常
plants
棒的一
and
个
trees
旅
here.
行的目的
And
地。
if with better transportation, this place would be a better choice and excellent choice of tourists.
这些车都是把一些建材拉到村子里边，是不是？
And all these trucks are they carrying the materials to the village. They are carrying the materials to the construction site. And
就是村子里边
And
公路
these
也在
materials are used to build the
有的可
the
能是原来
roads
有路
and
但是换
highways
不好
within the
现在
village. And the roads are now being constructed and being renovated or upgraded. So we start now. We
我等
finally
待
start.
会让人有更多的期待。
And the waiting may only arise your expectation. This is the bird's view image for the Medog County. We are showing the Birdsville image because there may be certain signal difficulties while going into the village. And you can also see the beautiful scene in this place.
So
after several minutes of drive, we have arrived near the village. While we stop here, we can see there is a shop for the local specialty, and it is operated by the village. So in this place, we could find the specialty handicraft of Medog County and Dexing Village. Good afternoon. So we are having a broadcast so we could see the handicrafts. So for this one, it is what we can see in the ordinary households. And this is the Menba ethnicity people. They would cut some bamboo and they will weave into such a box, and the box can be used to keep certain food and other things. And now this box has become a local specialty, a local handicraft. And if the handicraft is sold, certain revenue may be generated. So you can see those boxes are very characteristic. You can also see those travel suitcase and other products here. The very delicate box, and this can be used to keep some ordinary things in our lives, in our daily lives. And these knittings can bring certain income for local people. And we stop for a while, and then we will continue to go into the village. And there is one netizen who mentioned why there would be no two-way drive. And the Dexing Village was built in 2009, and back then, Medog County was the only one county which did not have highways. So only in 2010 there would be a channel to this area, and in 2013 there would be a highway linking Medog County to other places. So for Dexing Village, it was built to connect Dexing County and other villages within the Medog County region. So these villages can go through the bridge. And for the conditions back then, it was very difficult and really an achievement for the Dexing Village, Dexing Bridge to be built. So now the Medog County is planning to find another place and to invest some money to build a new bridge, a more solid bridge using cement and steel. So this is what I want to answer and explain to the questions of our netizens. So we continue to drive into the village. And from this place to the village, it is rather near the village. I hope that you can hear my voice. I will introduce to you. So I am in Medog County, the Dexing Village under Medog County in Tibet, and we are entering into the local village. And for Medog County, the changes of poverty alleviation, it is most impressive and representative if we go into small villages. And now we enter into this village, Dexing Village. And good afternoon. We now enter into the Dexing Village. You can also see the local trees. And she mentioned that we still took a motorcycle because now cars are possible, are accessible. And the lady, Medog, she is from Menba ethnicity. And she lives in another village. And she now works here in Dexing Village. And she is an official in Dexing Village. And I invite her to accompany our visits into the village. And for Dexing, we will offer you a latest information. Because we could see here for this code, it is not ordinary. Because for Medog County, there was no shuttle bus from the town to the sub-level counties or to the villages. So just yesterday, so many officials at the township level, they came here just yesterday afternoon, and this becomes the first shuttle bus. And for this shuttle bus, it belongs to Dexing County, and the route is from Dexing County to the town of Medog. And the distance has been 7 kilometers. If there was no road back then, it would take about 3 hours. So now with the roads and with this shuttle bus, the distance is shortened. So previously, the local people, if they want to go into the town, it would cost for 100 RMB for a single tour. And with this shuttle bus, and not only in Dexing County, but in Beibong County, another county, there would be shuttle bus. And for local people to go to the town, the cost will be 4 RMB. So you are going to the Medog town, yes? So what will you do there? To buy some food and daily use products. It is my first time to take the coach, to take the bus. In previous days, it would cost about 100 yuan to go to the town. We would rent a car. And with this shuttle bus, it is more convenient. And how can you buy the ticket? There will be a person on the bus selling the ticket. And the ticket will be 4 yuan for one-way drive. So there is a schedule for the shuttle bus. So last time I went here, there was no such schedule. So you could see that from Dexing County to Medog town, and the departure time is about 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 16 o'clock. So we now go into the village. And for Dexing Village, it is one of the 34 villages along the border under the Medog County. And for Medog County, it borders India. And there are 34 villages which border on India. And for Medog County, it has invested a lot in these 34 villages. Because there is an outlook an approach to make the border villages more prosperous. And the government has invested a lot for the Dexing Village and for other 33 villages bordering India because this is for the happiness of local people. It has a different feeling if we enter into the village. The sky, the scene is green and prosperous and vivid. So we could see for all these 34 villages, they have their respective characters for each village. So please show me to a household. We want to see their courtyard. So certain local people, they may go out. So we just knock and find out whichever household has the people within the house. So we could see the local people, they plant tropical fruits. Many people don't know that for Medog County, it is very interesting because the conditions are so good and anything can be planted here with fruits. And the local people, they trust each other. They don't even lock the door or lock the gate. So for the courtyard, people will plant the vegetables and fruits in the courtyard. And the vegetables can be sold to the market for more income of each household. And this is also one source of the revenue for the local household. So we just follow her step, and it is not trespassing because people are open, are welcomed for outside visitors. So the local girl is saying "ani." "Ani" is a way to call a respectable person. It means aunt. And the local girl, her name is Medog. And while she's knocking the door, we have a look at this room. And for Dexing Village, if we go into each household, we may say we can see the wooden room and the room made of stones. And this room is invested by the government, and it is called 火房. It is not kitchen, as the Chinese name implies. And 火房 in this area is a very important part of local life. People may say 火房 means kitchen in the past, but now it has other functions. And for the wooden structure, it is used as bedrooms, and for cook, for eating, for meeting the guests. All these activities will be in 火房. 火房 is the most warm and interesting place in each household. So for 火房, it is for each household invested by the government. About 40 square kilometer. For each one of such room, the investment will be about 80,000 yuan, and the investment is totally made by the government, even with the construction and certain decoration. You can see this room is only finished by 1/3, and after the construction, there will be the design, decoration, and painting. And to build 火房, it is the latest drive to improve the conditions of the villages. And it is to improve the livelihood of local villagers. And it is even related to the nationwide drive to rejuvenate the border areas. And only children are in the room. So the local people, they don't stay at their home in the day, during the day. Just children remain in their house during the day. And for the local people, they don't even feel the need to lock the gate. There are no thefts. So the local people, they are very kind and trust each other. So I don't know whether you can see this through our camera. So I will introduce to you why there are so many green plants. It seems like we could see the green color during the winter. But we have the snow mountain, and this is the most famous mountain. And it is the magic of this place, because if we go vertical, we go up and we can see the snow. But on the ground, we can see the subtropical plants. We could see the banana trees and other subtropical plants. And the first time I went here, I discovered that for each household, they hold a national flag. And this is the local character. It shows the local people's gratitude to the country, to the CPC. It shows that the local people, they are thankful. And they just do this voluntarily. They will even mend the flag if the flag is damaged. It is not required. So you can see all these flags in the village. It shows the heart of the local people. So we will try another household to see whether there are some adults there. We could all go this way to go into that house. So I think I am familiar with the roads, but Medog knows better. She knows the correct path to enter into each household. And we are on live broadcast, and netizens may wonder about the beautiful courtyards. And there is one netizen who exclaimed, "Is it the sample village?" It is not just a sample. For all the villages in the Medog County, all the villages are beautiful. It is not just one sample or one model. For Medog County, I have been to various kind of counties. All the villages have their respective characters. And for another county, Medog County, it has different feeling, different scenes. And for the other county we mentioned, they rely on teas, planting tea for income. But for the Dexing Village, the income comes from the vegetables. So it is to build and to develop on local conditions. You can also see the sugarcane here. And this is the banana tree planted by local people. Can we find any ripe banana here? You can also see there is one banana, but it is not ripe. You can see it is for the small size. And 9 years ago, when I first arrived at Medog County, I had my first taste of such banana. It was so delicious. And if I leave this place, I never have tried again such delicious banana. And for sugarcane, for banana, and for lemon, for other fruits, orange, etc., these are the local specialty fruits. Very delicious. Also including grapefruit. All the tropical fruits. Because the conditions are so good, so anything can grow here. And the weather is also mild. So you can also see it is winter here, but we have the sunlight and the weather is warm. And for this place, people plant vegetables in their courtyards. For each household, they plant a vegetable. What about the income? How much money can they earn? Do we have the data? About 4,000 to 5,000 RMB. Certain households may have better income because they plant better. But on average, the income will be about 4,000 RMB for each household, just planting the vegetable. And For sugarcane and other fruits, once they become ripe, they can also be sold. If you come from March to April, you can also see these fruits, this low-cut. And for Medog County, the conditions are really good for planting. As long as we can improve upon the infrastructure, the local place can have a leap forward development. We may take this way. And we go into one household, because I think the household is very interesting. They have 2 generations, and the 2 generations have their own occupation and their own activities. And for this household, the father generation is the village party secretary, and the son generation has the current village head. So you can also see the construction undergoing for the 火房. We have mentioned those places. Good afternoon. We have seen the shops for the local specialty, but now we can see the person who can weave such box. And for the bamboo, do you collect them yourself? I just collect them on the mountain myself. I will make them into the suitable shape to weave into the box. And this is to knit. To weave into the box, we have different sizes, the big and the small ones. And the small ones are used to keep the accessories, the necklace or the bracelets. And for the larger ones, they are used to keep other things. And this is a local specialty. We may not have a lot of sales, but there is another village, Badang Village. That village sells a lot of such specialty. But for here, we can even develop such sales because we have the talented and skillful people here. For each box, how much does it cost? About 140 RMB. What about the current sales? We have orders here, and the orders are for 80 of such boxes. So you may work overtime to weave such box. Only myself. We weave this. It takes some time, but it is good for us to have such orders. And the bamboo, it needs to be cut and need to be made into a similar size, and they also need to be dried. And for such a box, it takes so much time and so many procedures to weave it, to knit it. And this is for the local people, using the skills, using the effort to create a happy life. And these skills need to be passed down the generation. It is even the intangible cultural heritage, we could say. So such techniques need to be passed on over generations. And this is to make wine. We need to say, in Chinese, it is 烤酒, to roast wine, if we translate it literally. And back then, when I went here for the first time, in Medog County, every household, they roast the wine, they cook the wine. So back then, about 10 years ago, the transportation was worse. But for the roast, it is not wine, but alcohol. And this is very characteristic. And before festivals, people will cook the alcohol. After a whole year of effort, people get together, and alcohol will be cooked. And people may favor water, beer, or alcohol. And it is for the Tibetan alcohol, the local alcohol. So for Menba ethnicity, the most important festival is the Spring Festival. So people may offer the Tibetan alcohol to the guests. You can also see this is actually sealed. And we have the iron pot, and we use a cloth to seal this structure, and we will change the water once after another. And if the water becomes hot, we get rid of the water and we pour in cold water. And the steam may touch the cold water. The steam will come back and the alcohol may be maintained. So we could see the whole process. So it is like what we can see here. It is for distillation. This whole process may be about 5 or 6 times of getting rid of the hot water and pouring the cold water. So I can have a taste. It is not for a high degree of alcohol here. And the raw material is corn. Only corn here. And this is so delicious. And if it becomes cold, it is more delicious. People may even add eggs or milk powder to drink. And this alcohol is used when women just have their baby. The women will drink this alcohol. And in my hometown, they will use a different kind of alcohol and add eggs into the alcohol for the woman to drink after they have given birth to a baby. And it is so delicious. And we could have a taste of the corn. And we will go into the courtyard. If we go in this way, it is held by Wang Zha, the son of the old man we have just seen. And Wang Zha has opened this so-called hotel for the rural entertainment. So it is the first such hotel in this region, and it has most benefits and revenue. And this has been influential for the local tourism. And for such a hotel to be open, it actually brings so much money for the household. And we may answer your question, the netizens' question. And people say they envy the life here. So what about the area for Huofang? The area for each Huofang is about 40 square kilometers. It is big enough for daily use. Another question is about drinking water. People may wonder about how people can get the drinking water. It is convenient for the local people to get the water because there are a certain campaign to offer better water sources to the poor village. So we have the test for the water quality, and the water is transported to the doorstep for each household. I have a deep feeling for this. So when I was a child, I would walk a long distance, carry a large bottle to carry the water. And I was born in 1986, so back then I did need to carry the water from a long distance. But now, the local people can have easy access to the water. It is a rather improvement on the livelihood, a magnificent improvement for people's lives. And Medog, she has the first-hand experience. Back then, when she was younger, she just walked. And the walk would take about more than 1 day. People would need to stay at a transit position, and it would take about 2 days to go from the local village to the town. And when I first met Medog, I was deeply impressed. I observed her. I found that she was so close to the local grandmas, local people. And she knows the local conditions. She communicates with local people. And I feel that she was a member of the local village. So we just go forward. So for these rooms, they are for the guests to stay in. And so this is the local rooms for the Menba ethnicity. You can see the structure at the bottom of the room. It is to prevent the humidity of the weather, of the ground. So if you can stay in the room with a local characteristic, it is very important and very interesting. You can see the orange planted by the local household. So I want to also ask how Wang Zha, the owner of this hotel, this agri-entertainment hotel, and Wang Zha was once the village head, and he also became the leader to help the local region to become rich. And we wanted to have someone to make a pioneer or make an endeavor for the agri-entertainment. So Wang Zha became the one to start such a hotel. You can also see the agri-entertainment hotel was established in 2013, and it was also thanks to the transportation. And for Medog County, the tourism bureau for the Medog County was established in 2013. And I asked the head for the tourism bureau, I asked for some data. And from 2014, there had been the first batch of tourists. Before 2014, before the road was finished, there was no data about tourists. Very few tourists came here. Maybe those people who are really strong, they would walk here, come into the Medog County for tourism. So now there is a huge change. So we have the transportation, then we have the agri-entertainment. And for this agri-entertainment hotel to be successful, we could say the owner, Wang Zha, is very hardworking. So if you eat here, you can have a taste of the local food. And the local food is very delicious, and Wang Zha would go up the hill, go up the mountain every day very early to gather the material to cook. So I will explain to you. It is after 1:30 p.m. Why people still prepare for their lunch? So due to the location, there is a time lag. And here, we know that city officials will have their break at 1 p.m. And this is the time where people have the lunch. So I discussed with Wang Zha, the owner. So we have, this is for chicken, use the stone pot. And this stone pot is to cook chicken. So we now introduce a specialty food of the Medog County. We should say that the stone pot is the local specialty. We use the special stone of Medog County, and this stone is very soft. You can bite and there will be a trace on the stone of your bite. And for this special stone, the stones are diminishing in quantity, and to build such a pot, we use manual method, we use manpower, and the stone needs to be carried down from the mountain, and for each pot, it is so rare and it costs a lot of effort. And for this stone pot, it is best suited to cook chicken and fish. So you can see the chicken. And this is a famous cook here in Medog County, Wang Zha, also the owner of the hotel. So he will introduce you how to cook the chicken. So you can see that this is a stone pot. We will have oil at the bottom, and you need to pay attention to the fire. So we use wood to cook. And the wood will make the chicken more delicious. And the chicken are what we can see in the courtyard. We put into garlic and ginger. And ginger is the local ginger, different from what we normally see in the city. So the local pot, local ginger, and local chicken. So just fry for the first step. If we just boil, it would not be delicious. Because we have ginger and garlic, so we need to fry for the first step. You can have a smell of the fragrant smell. So this is for another pot. So you must have a lot of guests today. We have 2 households, 2 guests here, because today is a weekend. So I will help you. I will have a try how to fry this chicken. So this is for a whole chicken for each pot. About 1 kilogram for each chicken. And the local chicken is not so big as what we can see in the city, because for local chicken, they would only weigh about 1 kilogram. You can see the stone pot. The thing we use to fry is very special. It is from bamboo. We could see that for the stone, it is soft, so we could not use iron or other steel things. We could use bamboo because the stone pot is soft. And for the stone pot, it is passed down along generations for Menba ethnicity. Previously, Menba ethnicity live along the mountains, so all the things need to be gathered in the mountain. So the local people in previous days, they could not have access to iron. They only had access to bamboo. So people may think the stone pot is expensive, but we could see that it is reasonable. The stone pot can be passed down through generation, and the stone pot will be better after a long time of use. And in old days, when we were poorer, people would not have oil at the end of the year. So back then, people just pour some water into the stone pot, And after boiling, you could see the oil on the surface of the water. So we use the stone pot of our grandfather. So the stone pot is not just ordinary, it is the memory of different generations. So we have a sense of history. So if you get married, maybe your parents will give you certain stone pots. So this is a very important step. After frying for 3 minutes, the boiled water will be poured into the stone pot and will stir. And the fire is made through the wood. So you can smell the fragrant smell of the chicken, and you can have a watch at the soup. The soup is white. You can see the spoons. The spoon is very special. So cute. You can see the bamboo scoop and bamboo spoon. So we use a bamboo to make a spoon. So now we can see the soup. It becomes white. So how long will it take for us to boil the chicken? About 1 hour, at least 1 hour. And the chicken will be ready to eat. About 1.5 hour. 1.5 hour is better. And if we boil longer, the soup is more delicious, but the meat will not be as delicious. So if you want to use the stone pot of Medog County, the suggested time will be 1 to 1.5 hour. If it takes longer, the soup is better, but the meat is not as delicious. As time is limited, we cannot wait for 1 hour to have a taste of the soup. So we will go to another place. So we have seen the whole village, and we now enter into one household. So what I feel here is that for the 2 generations of the one household, they are using their effort. They find their own activity to get a better life. So what I want to share with you is that I have once asked Wang Zha about the agri-entertainment business. For each month, the income will be about 20,000 RMB. And he insisted that the income will be about 20,000 RMB. Asked again. And Wang Zha even said, it is just normal for the income. Because for this year, we are upgrading the roads. So the outside tourists, they are limited by the upgrading transportation. So as compared to last year, maybe last year would be better. Before the 2013, before the agri-entertainment business, Naja does not have so much things to do. He just planted the crops, and he didn't have so many things to do. And for nowadays, local villagers, they have more thoughts. They wanted to change. They want to have a better income. They think that the transportation and other infrastructure is better, and young people have more aspirations. And there are many ways to improve the income. So this is based on the nation's effort and nation's support to Medog County. So there is a platform, and the local people can think of their own ways to get rid of poverty. So this is the inner drive for development. Previously, if we talk about poverty alleviation, we just have infusion of investment or infusion of resources. But now we rely on the endogenous, the inner drive. So previously, Medog people, they rely on other support. But now with better transportation, the Medog County people, they rely on themselves for better life. So now we are in Dexing Village of Medog County to have this broadcast to you. Do not leave us. My colleague is in another county in Tibet. Dexing Village of Medog County, another place. And please keep with us, and we will have a glimpse of what is happening over there. Here's to my colleague. Dear audience, I'm Zhang Tengfei from CCTV. Thank you for watching the report in Medog County for the specialty village. And now I am about 800 kilometers away from Medog County, and the altitude is lower. And we could also see that for this river, it is the famous river. You can also see the Lantang River, and you can see this special building. And this is for the Medog County, and this is a village for Naxi ethnicity. And you can also see the salt soil. And there are 3 areas for the salt soil. And this is to make salt. And this salt ground is on the cliffs. And if we go down this river, it is for the salt ground of Naxi ethnicity. And on the eastern coast of the Lantang River. And the place where I am, just opposite to those salt ground. And for this, it is in Jiada village. And for the local conditions are different. Just on the opposite side of one river, you can see the salt are different in color. On the eastern coast of the river, the salt is white. And now we are on the western coast of the river, and the salt is red. Have you seen red salt? I will show you later. And I will leave you with one question open. Why just across one river, the salt is different in color? Do you know that? If you know, you can comment, and I will explain the reason for you. And for today's broadcast, I will show you the salt ground and the memory for 1,000 years. Just like Medog County, people can feel that the road is very important for any village. And for Medog County, the road has contributed to various changes in people's lives. And for here, although it is a gorge, you can see a lot of stones and rocks. It is difficult to build roads. But for the salt ground to be sustained for 1,300 years, we could say that this place is an important place for transportation. And with the transportation, the ancient tea horse road, and with the unique resources, we could see there is the salt ground, the salt pan for 1,000 years. And in ancient times, this place is an important stop for the ancient tea and horse road. In 1969, the State Highway 214 passed through the salt ground. And due to the transportation, we could see that we can sustain 1,000 years for the salt production. And also due to transportation, the local people, they can rely on the salt industry in the past and for today. And salt can also be a new way of getting rid of poverty. And people may be curious about how to produce salt here. And everyday people have salt. But have you wondered how we produce salt? And for our country, in the coastal area, we have the sea salt, and we have and this is for different ways of producing the salt. And now we are coming to an end for the broadcast for the introduction of these local villages in Tibet. Thank you for watching this program.